Ladies and gentlegoats, I'm the Dungeon Master. These are the Dirty Dice Boys, and this whole thing is a mess. Welcome to Capra D&Diem. I'm Madison. I will be the Dungeon Master for this campaign called Fairy Tales. And quick fun fact about me, if I were an energy drink, I would be a rock star.
Hi there, I'm AJ. I'll be playing the Swole Witch in this session, and if I was an energy drink, I'd be Nos, because I should equally be put inside of you and your car.
Oh god.
Hello, I'm TJ. I will be playing our barbarian, the lovely, the cute little pig dude right there, Brick Porquet. And, I guess if I was an energy drink, I'd be I guess it'd be a Red Bull, because I know how to give you wings.
I don't know any more energy drink slogans.
I know, I'm trying to sit here like, oh crap, what am I going to do now? I have a Nos in front of me, I have a Rockstar. Who's next?
I'll let you go while I frantically search for a slogan.
Alright, well, my name is Jacob, and I'm going to be playing a very confused robot that has no idea what's going on at first. And I'm new and I don't know what to do.
There's bangs, there's monster energy drinks.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, I'm Aaron.
Weird.
I play William, the paladin. If I were an energy drink, I'd be a monster because I'm pretty
God damn
basic.
it, Aaron.
God damn it.
I just searched for that one. Oh, God. Okay, well, this isn't great, but I'm Ben. I am a druid, and I guess I'm a bang because I have potent brain and body fuel. That's the best slogan on earth.
And you have a thing for Baptist
yeah.
girls?
I wouldn't say a thing.
Yeah.
I would say a weakness.
Yeah, I would say that's more accurate.
I'd just say an opportunity.
If the fruit hangs low, why not pick it?
Exactly.
No.
Couple Hail Marys later.
Hey, I'm still paying for that right now.
Alrighty. So, this campaign, just to give a brief backstory without giving too much information away, takes place in a fairy tale realm that is based off of your classic Grimm, Disney, threw a bit of nursery rhyme characters in there as well. I can't really give away too much on the conflict going on in the world without giving away the plot and the story that's about to be somewhat revealed. But yeah, so a couple of our characters are going to be starting off in the Forgotten Realms, and they get sucked into the fairy tale world, and then a few others will be originating from the world itself and dealing with their own crazy dramas. So, if you all are ready, we can get started here.
I was born ready.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Alrighty. So,
You mean let's goat?
I like it.
alright, so I'm just going to ask that everyone except for Ben to go ahead and pause your mics or turn your mics off, and then we will get started, Ben.
Let's do it.
Alright, so we are going to start your story at a small little house in the middle of the forest. It's early morning, and you are tending to the gardens at the house of your employer, the wizard named Merle. Though Merle is your employer, he's been more of a mentor. After all, he was the one who found you lost in the woods when you were young. He had taken you to a local druid gnome village where you were taken in with open arms, and they taught you the ways of nature and its glory. When you got a little older, you searched out for Merle to thank him for his rescuing, and he asked if you would be willing to work in his gardens. In exchange, he would teach you a little extra magic that you might not have learned from the druids you were raised with. So here you are, tending to his gardens. You hear the door to the cottage open, and you look and see the automaton that's owned by Merle walking out. He waves at you as he makes his way down the walkway, probably towards town, on a daily chore. You've known this automaton since his creation by Merle, but with its clockwork gears always turning and shifting with a slight magical blue glow about them. He has become a good friend of yours and enjoys helping you out in the gardens when he isn't working or studying under Merle. As you continue to pull weeds out of the garden, a small field mouse runs up to you. It stops in front of you and cocks its head a little. How do you react?
I am gonna pull out a small bag of animal snacks that I probably keep on me all the time. Try to give the mouse a little treat.
Okay, so you set a little piece of food next to it. He runs up to it, sniffs it, looks up at you, doesn't touch it, runs a few inches away, stops and turns back at you.
I'm going to follow him.
Okay. So, you follow the little mouse through the grass. He leads you to the edge of the forest, where there's a little hollow in a tree stump. You see another little mouse who looks like he's been injured by something.
Oh shit. Like, badly injured?
He looks like he's pretty hurt, but, roll a... What's your higher one, intelligence or wisdom?
Wisdom.
Go ahead and roll a wisdom check.
16.
You know that if you were to do some type of either a healing spell or a medicine check, you could probably fix him right up.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a medicine check and try to gather some berries and stuff to fix him up. I don't know why these things won't roll. Oof, not great. A nice little 4.
So you can't seem to find anything around the immediate area that'd be able to help him.
Okay. Well, since I couldn't find anything, I'll use Cure Wounds on a mouse.
Okay.
So that would be 11. Okay. So 6 plus 6. So 12?
Alright, so describe your magic as you place your little gnome ham over this little hurt mouse.
I think just like some nice little green sparks come out and kind of get focused on wherever he's hurt and mend him up.
Alright, so your magic comes out and little sparks fall on the mouse, and all of a sudden you see that he looks way healthier. He doesn't look like he's hurt anymore. He kind of peeks his little head up, and his little friend runs up to him. They kind of sniff each other a little bit, and then little squeaks, they run in circles around each other in happiness. And as you stand back to watch them, run around in joy, you hear a voice come out from behind you. Jed, come here, boy. I'm in need of your assistance.
I'm gonna
And-
go ahead and scamper back.
Alright. You see Merle the wizard standing by the front door waving at you to follow him inside.
Oh yeah, let's do this. I'll go ahead and follow him in there.
Okay. So you step inside the house, entering the sitting room. A small fire is burning in the fireplace, where 2 chairs are arranged with a small table in between. Scrolls and books are piled on the table and the shelves on the walls. You hear clattering coming from the next room.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and I think I would get Merle's seat ready before I take my own. So, pull it out for him and whatnot.
So you're gonna stay in the sitting room, or are you gonna go?
Did Merle stay in the sitting room?
No, he's in the other room.
Oh. Yeah, then I'll go in the other room.
So you enter into the established lab of the wizard. A long table fills the room with bottles and potions scattered about in a chaotic manner. More scrolls line the walls on smaller tables. A small cauldron sits on a large table, and you see Merle working meticulously, adding some ingredients and potions to the contents of the cauldron. He looks up at you as you enter. Hurry over here, Jed. Quit dilly-dallying. Now, I have a job for you. If it works, great things will happen, but I need you to be willing. You watch as he adds a dark blue potion to the cauldron, and a poof of sparkling green smoke puffs out from the mixture.
Anything. You've helped me become a better druid. I'll do anything. What you need?
He seems to ignore you for a second as he's
Cool.
examining the contents within. He grabs a ladle and pulls up a little bit of the sparkling mixture and gives it a sniff. Says, "Perfect." And then he pours it into a small vial. He corks the vial and turns to you. And a complete look of seriousness overcomes him. So,
Oh, shit.
what you say, Jed the gnome? Are you willing to go on an adventure?
Of course. Where am I going? Need me to go into town or something?
No. Hurry, quickly, follow me then. And he
All right.
he quickly leaves the room, expecting you to follow behind him.
Yeah, I'll follow behind.
Okay. So he leads you out of the house, and to the edge of the forest, not far from where you were with the 2 mice. Next to a huge oak tree with a thick trunk that shows its massive age. Stand back. He puts a hand out to kind of block you from going forward, and you stand back about 10 feet from the tree. And Merle throws the vial at the tree, and boosh, a magical explosion of sparkling green powder and a swirling green vortex appears at the trunk of the tree. Roll a perception check. Or investigation.
I am equally shitty at both of those. 15.
Okay. You can't quite make out the constantly shifting images beyond the vortex, but you find yourself intrigued at what may lay beyond it.
Okay.
And Merle looks at you and says, "I don't know where this will take you, but I don't think you'll find much trouble. Once you get there, you need to find the White Rabbit. There, you will find help for your way back once you get there."
Find the White Rabbit. I could do that.
Here.
Should
He shoves a small bag into your hand. This bag will contain some tools and rations. I also included some gold that should suffice. Now, hurry on. And he gives you a small pat on the shoulder and a small shove forward. You now have 10 gold added to your
Yeah.
thing.
Cool.
So how do
Or mom.
you approach this portal?
I'm gonna walk up pretty cautiously. Are those mice around?
Do an investigation check.
An 8. So probably not.
No, you do not see them.
Okay, well, they were going to kind of be my morale booster, but they're not here. So I'm just going to cautiously step through it.
Okay. You step through the vortex and instantly are thrown about. You feel yourself twisting and turning at incredible speeds. It also feels as though you are falling. Roll a perception check.
A 5. Not rolling great, guys.
After what feels like a few minutes, you realize you're still falling, though you have adjusted to the feeling. You look around and see that you are passing floating objects. Chairs, tables, books, and other random objects pass by you as you fall.
Alright. Can I, grab onto anything?
You can try, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try to grab something. Try to balance myself or get out of this falling.
Go ahead and roll a dex check.
Hey, that's a nice little 18.
So you see a chair that's coming up, and you manage to grab onto the leg of it and pull yourself up so that you are sitting up straight.
Cool. Still falling, though?
Yes. Now it
All right,
just
now.
seems as though the chair is falling down with you.
Well, that didn't work how I wanted it to. So,
Roll another perception check.
a 10.
You happen to glance down and see that there's another green vortex below you, and you're coming up on it really fast.
I'm just gonna try to, brace myself on the chair, I guess. Okay.
Roll a strength check.
Ooh, definitely not my strong suit. Oh, but there's the nat 20.
Okay, so you grip onto the chair even tighter, hoping that it will somehow break your fall. But right as you're getting right to the bottom where you're about to hit through that vortex again, you move forward just a little too much, and you tip forward, and the chair flies up from underneath you, and you pass through the next vortex. More twisting and pulling on your body, and then bam, you hit the ground.
Alright. I'm down here.
What do you do next?
You
are prone right now.
prone. So I'm gonna kind of just sit up, kind of dazed, try to get my bearings.
Roll a constitution
Figure out.
check.
Alright. A 14.
So you feel your stomach twist, and you almost feel as like you're about to throw up.
Oh.
But at the last second, you're able to kind of take a deep breath, calm yourself, and you're good.
Oh, yeah.
As you stand and grab your bag again, you find yourself in a forest. There's birds chirping in the trees above you. You can hear the buzzing of the bugs in the air and the sweet scent of flowers and mushrooms. If you would like to roll a perception check, you can.
I would. And get a 2.
Yeah, nothing really seems abnormal.
Alright. Can I kind of wander into this clearing up here to try to figure out where I am.
1 second. I'm gonna switch over to that. Yeah. You can go ahead. Step forward. So before you, you see a ring of mushrooms.
Oh. Can I do
Yeah, go ahead.
do an investigation check or probably a nature check? See if I know anything about these. If I've seen them before.
Okay.
Get a 16.
So as you kind of step forward and get a closer look, you realize that those are not mushrooms. Those are rocks painted to look like mushrooms.
Yeah. And I haven't seen anyone else around here.
Roll a intelligence check.
A 12.
Yeah, no, that's really weird. Roll a dex check.
Oh shit, here it comes. 19. I'll take it.
Okay, so as you kind of stand up to, like, after investigating one of the little rock mushroom things, a arrow whizzes past your head, just barely missing you.
Oh,
Roll
boy.
initiative.
3.
3, alright. At the edge of the clearing, you see goblin-esque creatures come out of the shadows of the trees. They hiss and grumble in their weird language, pointing pointy sticks at you with intrigue. They don't seem to want to attack right away, even though, an arrow whizzed past your head.
Yeah.
But they seem more curious, and this one, who's a little bit larger than the rest, steps forward. What do you do as he steps towards you?
I am going to show him that I do not want to fight him because I'll get fucking wrecked. I'm just gonna kind of put my staff away and raise my arms up.
Okay, he looks at you, turns his head, and in a grumbly, weird, very hard to understand, but you can just make out what he's saying in common, says, "You have pretty wings, friend."
Wings? I don't have any wings.
Make a
Oh boy.
investigation.
Investigation. A 9.
Alright, so you don't quite understand what he's saying. You're very confused about him. He steps a bit closer and he says, your skin. Very pretty color. Green. Make nice rug.
No, it is pretty, but
Make a perception check again.
oh shit. Oh, even worse. An 8.
Well, so you hold up your hand in what used to be a, more tanned brown, like light brown color from spending your day outside all the time. It's now got a weird green hue about it.
Oh.
And then suddenly from behind you, you feel something kind of brush up against your head, and you turn to see these pretty, like, dark green, glittery wings sticking out from behind you.
Hell yeah. Jed
And
2.0.
you have a new character sheet.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to remove the old one.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's definitely in the old one. Hell yeah.
We're not really sure what's going on, but you do look up and notice that as you were looking at your wings, trying, realizing that something is going on, the goblins have, or the gremlins, I'm sorry, have surrounded you.
Huh.
So,
Alright.
the first one is going to make an attack.
Oh,
And
boy.
so this one's going to step forward. Does a 13 hit?
It does.
Okie doke. He does 3 damage.
Didn't love that.
And then these ones just kind of maneuver. He just maneuvers. This one steps forward. Ooh, has an 18 hit?
It does.
That one does 2.
Alright.
And then Big Boss Boy comes up. He does a bat. 15 hits with his bite. And he does 3 piercing damage.
like it.
And now it's your turn.
Oh man, I did not expect to have wings. I don't know if I think if I so if I fly or try to fly, will I have to take an opportunity attack?
Yes, I would say.
Okay. Well,
'Cause
in
you-
that case,
I would say if you're gonna try to fly, you would need to make a dexterity check with disadvantage because you don't know how to use them.
yeah. In that case, I am just gonna do Thunder Wave to try to give me a little bit of space.
Alright, so each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw. So. So. All of them failed.
Hell yeah.
So they take 2d8. So they took 9 damage.
Yep. You get pushed back 5 feet or something. 10 feet. Sorry.
Okie doke. So you managed to take out these ones, and you said 9 feet?
Yeah.
Or 10 feet? So
Yeah, I'm sorry, 10 feet.
10. And just as that happens, a bunch more
Oh.
run up from the trees.
Oh shit.
And they will all roll initiative themselves. Alright, and So boss guy will go, and he is going to use a action. So you need to make a dex save.
Okay. Dex is 2. So 13 plus 2, so 15.
All right, so you save. So nothing happens. So you just see like a little bit of like black magic like sprinkle from his fingers towards you, but you dodge at the right at the last second, and it shoots past you. You can take another action. It's your turn again.
Do not want to fight all these guys. So I'm going to take that disadvantage to try to figure out how to fly.
All right, go ahead and I would say either a dex check or an athletics check.
I'm going to say a dex check because my athletics is -1. So an 11 and a 9.
So you flutter your wings. Like you can kind of subconsciously, like, just almost like walking, where you kind of know if you're going to walk, you just do it by reflex. Your wings kind of flutter, and you lift a few inches from the ground. And then as you try to kind of move forward, you kind of stumble, and you don't fall prone or anything, and you catch yourself, but you can't quite figure out how to get going.
Oh, man. Right.
That I'll have to
that-
say that'll be your turn.
Yeah.
So and Big Boy is gonna come back. Or actually, he's gonna move back a little bit. Let his people do their things. Alright, so this one's gonna come forward. "15 hits,
It does.
2 slashing."
Okay.
How you doing on HP?
I am at 6.
Okay. This guy comes forward. This guy comes forward. Oh, second one misses. First one hits for 2 more slashing damage. And then I'm going to roll D20. Does not get that back. And this guy will come forward and miss. And now it's your turn.
Oh boy. There's a lot of them. I just want to get out of this situation. So I think I'm going to do the entangle, like, centered on myself. To try to entangle them.
Okay. 20-foot square.
Yeah.
Alright, so everybody except for the boss gotta make strength checks. What is the save?
I'll want to say it's a 13, a 14.
So one of them saves.
Oh shit.
Let's see. So this one saves. The rest are all restrained. So, do you have a bonus action, or is that your turn?
I think that's it, but I can still move after I do a spell, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to scoot out this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shit. I'm gonna try to move up here. That direction.
Okay.
Yeah. Just keeps tossing my person back.
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's your turn. He's gonna move. He's gonna follow you. Well, you do take an opportunity attack from him.
Okay.
So 17 hits.
It does.
How much HP do you got?
I have 4.
Okay, so before you move, he hits you for 3.
Oh shit.
So, as he gets you with one last swipe, well, I guess make a concentration. So you have to,
Is that just a D20?
I think so.
Alright. Ten.
Yeah, I think you had to meet your own DC to not lose concentration.
That sounds right.
So, he swipes at you, and you lose concentration on the vines that came up out of the ground and grab on hold of all the other little gremlins. And you kind of get hit with like a wave of exhaustion from kind of trying to fly and then use your magic and try to get away. And you kind of like tumble a little bit and fall. And all of the gremlins come up. And then the boss guy comes up and like kind of shoves you down so you fall prone. And the head gremlin stands over you and points his little sharpened stick at you and says, "First take trophy wings, then take skin to wear." He lifts his stick up to try to stab you, but then suddenly the clearing is just filled with this bright, mystically orange glow. And this huge roar comes from the edge of the forest. And all of the gremlins scream and screech and all disperse. Even the head gremlin dropping his stick. Roll a Constitution.
Constitution is it's a 12.
12. So, the orange glow gets closer to you, but you're slowly kind of falling into unconsciousness. And just as the face of whatever this beast is steps into your vision, you fall into darkness.
I mean, it's better than the alternative, so I'll take it.
And that is the end of our first session.
Man.
You all may rejoin the chat if you would like.
Hey, that's good boy.
Hey.
Howdy. I didn't die.
Or did
You
you?
made
My
it,
voice turned
Ben.
around.
You got
I'll
your
bet.
Zenkai boost.
Oh
You
yeah.
did it, bro. You green. You got wings.
You got the
Stuff with a
whole
mouse.
dope
All the things, dude.
transformation.
Hell yeah. Those
Should've-
wings are could
should've
come up.
said-
And then you died.
Welcome
which
to the
is-
death chamber for real.
Like, yes, I killed 5 out of 6. Oh, and then 6 more come out of the tree. It's like, fuck, dude.
I was telling the guys in the text chat, Thunderwave is just the low level version of I cast Fireball on myself.
Hell yeah.
hmm
But you don't take hurt. You don't take damage from Thunderwave, do you?
No.
Yeah. So I'd do that all day.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't see the wings coming. That was a new one.
We all fly boys here.
You said something about
So I can kind of give you a hint or tell you where your wings come from, or if you want, we can reveal it later. Doesn't really matter.
I think we should reveal it later because I'm
Okay.
going to do a deep dive into this.
Okay.
You said something
Are
about
they- wait,
wings and-
What kind of wings are they? Are they like dragon wings or angel wings or
Fairy wings?
Fairy wings.
Mm.
Ooh.
Hell You said green skin and wings. I was like, am I playing the right character right now?
Is this a fairy version of a druid? I'm alright with this.
Hey, I'll take it.
I'm kind of glancing through
Always
the little
do
chat
worse.
here. This is Capra Diem. I'm the dungeon master, and these are my victims.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
All right. So, AJ, if you want to go ahead and get yourself set up, we will
Yee.
move on to the next two. Everybody else, go ahead and mute your mics if you
Alright.
haven't done so.
Shield AJ.
Alright, give me a second. Here, real quick, before we do it.
Do you guys think that this is too high pitched, or should I go lower or higher for acting? Thoughts?
I love it.
Can you
Keep it
hit me with a couple Valley Girl lines really quick?
Oh my god. I'm not going to just do whatever you tell me to, Aaron. I am a strong, independent
Perfection.
woman, and I make my own choices. Thank you.
Perfection.
Thank you. I worked really hard on that. Not really. I worked really hard on a totally different voice, and then I went with this one anyways. Because the other one was shit.
Just for our listeners and viewers, AJ is going to be playing a female character, and he has gone all out and gotten a voice changer for this. So, if you are ready, ma'am.
Not only that,
Start?
but we don't have cameras. I'm also wearing a dress. That's just for you guys, though.
Oh,
Link.
that's good to know. All right, you ready to start?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to close the Discord so I don't get distracted. Because I'm going to get distracted by that. Alright, so. Now we begin. Bang, bang, bang. There's a pounding from the room below you, and it breaks you from your peaceful sleep. Wake up, princess! You have chores to do! Screeches the old hag downstairs. You look around the loft you've been sleeping in for the past 6 months, and you spot your small companion sitting in the window next to you, sharpening his small sword. Come on now, this place isn't a palace, girl. We have things to do. The hag screams again with annoyance. You have spent the last months apprenticed under this swamp hag not far from your own home. In exchange for work, she has promised to teach you magic, and so you have spent the time learning how to use your new body along with the magic she knows. You have grown accustomed to her grouchy and rude ways, though it wasn't easy at first. After a few hexes and accidents, you learned the hard way that it's better just to nod and do as she says, rather than be smart or question her. What would you like to do?
So I think I'm going to get up, walk over to the window, and pick up my companion, and I am just going to tuck him into my hair, because that's where he stays. And then I'm going to go downstairs to start choring.
Alright, once you head down, the hag shoves a wickered basket into your arms. Here, go restock the herbs and the ingredients from the shelves. Go now, you lazy brat. Bah! She waves you off and waddles back to the back of the hut, grumbling about ungratefulness and spoiled royalty.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go start stocking the shelves, and as I do, I'm going to look at Fibian and say, you know, I understand why we're helping her, but I feel like there's gotta be a better way for us to get me changed back. And Fibian is gonna go.
Princess, I understand that you're not the biggest fan of these trivial peasantries, but for the time being, I don't see an alternative.
And then I will begrudgingly bring her the herbs that she had me collect.
So she actually was having you go off, wanting to go off into the forest to
Oh,
collect.
so she's just real confused then, because I'm just talking to my hair, I guess. And I'm gonna walk out the door.
Alright, so you head out to the swamp and forest with Sir Fibian on your shoulder, or in your hair. A few hours pass as you slowly gather different herbs and ingredients needed by the hag. Go ahead and roll a constitution save.
2. Oh no, 6. Not great.
Okay, that's fine. So you hear a rumble come from your stomach. You realize you haven't yet eaten. Come from your stomach. You realize you haven't yet eaten. And you failed to bring anything with you.
So I am going to do an investigation check and see if there are any, medium to largest sized rocks around. Oh no. There we go.
Rocks? You need us to pause for a
Yes,
few minutes?
rocks.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for medium to large sized rocks. I'm out in the forest, right?
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's a 22. Do I find anything?
You find there's a couple rocks, a couple covered in moss and a couple little bit of fungus and stuff, and you also see a couple berry bushes along the water bank. Each one with different colored berries.
So I'm gonna roll over the rocks.
Oh.
I'm gonna roll over the rocks and look for bugs.
Okay. So you pick up one of the rocks. It's not too big of a size for you to be able to lift up, and you see 3 different bugs under the rock. One is a bright red color, one's a bright blue, and another's got like pink with like little white polka dots.
Alright, I'm gonna do a quick insight to see, and I don't know what any of them are, so I'm just gonna eat all of them with all the confidence.
Go ahead and have Sir Fabian also roll. I don't know if you opened his character sheet too, but he also has one.
I only see mine on here.
Oh, okay. Well, that means I'm gonna do his rolls. You can do his voice, but I do his rolls.
Okay.
See if he's quick enough to warn you. Nope, he is just as clueless as you are.
Oh.
Okay, which one
Well,
are you
then,
going to eat first?
I'm gonna eat the pink one first because that looks delicious.
Okay, so describe how you take a bite out of this bug.
Well, since I can't eat them the typical way, I'm going to pick up the bug, and I'm gonna use my thumb to like pop the head off of it, and then I'm just gonna drop the body into my mouth. I mean, how big is the bug? Obviously, it's not
It's
like an apple-sized bug.
Probably like an inch, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, pretty decent sized
Then I'll
bug.
pop the head off of it, and I'll drop the body in.
All right, so you pop the body of the bug into your mouth and you chew it, and then suddenly your stomach just twists and you become pretty queasy, and you just puke it all the back up.
Mm.
Yeah, so that
Alright.
was a poisonous bug.
Yeah, I was pretty confident they were all poison.
So Sir Fibian is going to hop over to a bush nearby and grab a few red berries off of it and bring them back to you. And these berries are to help settle your stomach.
Alright. Well, then I'm going to thank him, and I'm going to pop a handful of berries in.
All
And
right.
also probably a little bit of the stick.
So as you're sitting there, recovering from this bad bug that you ate, go ahead and make a perception check. So, you hear some chuckling coming from the branches above you. And you look up and you see a young man sitting up on a branch above you. He's got sharpened ears, kind of like an elf's, with clear, glittery wings spreaded from his back. He's got a shaggy brown hair and speckled freckles on his cheeks, and he is smiling down at you with great amusement in his eyes. And then he leaps down and lands in front of you. How does Sir Fibian react?
So,
Sir Fibian is gonna look this man in the face, and he's gonna say, "How dare you laugh at our princess?"
The boy falls backward, laughing. Ha! Ha! Oh, you, Sir Frog. You do little to scare me, but thank you for a moment of laughter. You and your princess sure do know how to put on a show.
Sir Fibian is gonna bite him, but like he's a tiny frog, so I guess he's gonna bite his toe or his finger.
I did not even put bite attacks on for him. So I guess.
Well, it's more like a gum attack because frogs don't have teeth.
I guess we'll just roll a d20. Wow. So I
Bite the shit out that toe.
Yeah, so I rolled a 20. So Sir Fabian leaps forward and bites at this man's finger that from his hand that's kind of being held out. he pulls his hand back real quick, yelps after yelping in pain, and then just laughs some more. And stands up and straightens himself, and then does a low bow, and he says, "I am Robin Goodfellow, also known as Puck." And then he stands up, or he's already standing, but he begins to kind of walk around your characters, rubbing his chin as he examines you, and says, "Yep, I think you'll be fun." And then he kind of floats up in the air a little bit. "I have a gift for you, princess," he says, digging into his pockets. "Now, where is it? Aha!" So, he's floating in the air in front of you, or flying, I should say, but looks more like floating. And he pulls out a chain necklace with some sort of pendant on it. As you look at it, you see that it's a ice blue crystal and also a fiery orange crystal intertwined in a way that looks as though they are fighting each other to be more prominent than the other. Go ahead and make a wisdom.
An 11.
So, as he holds it out in front of you, kind of dangling, you feel a pull toward it, beckoning you to take it within your grasp.
All right.
And what's Sir Fabian gonna do?
So Sir Fibian is gonna just puff up his frog chest, like they do. And while he's all bubbled up like that, Christina is going to pick him up, set her back in his hair, and she is going to take the amulet and just kind of look at it longingly.
Okay, so upon touching the crystals, you hear whispering voices, promising magic, promising great things. One promising the power to break curses, with another whisper promising the power to break their enemies. Do you put the necklace on?
Yeah. I'd say she'd wear the necklace. She doesn't have very many shiny things anymore, so I feel like she'd be pretty eager to wear any jewelry that anyone would for her.
Alright, so upon taking the necklace, you clasp it around your neck, and you feel a surge of power. A power you haven't felt before. Nothing like the magic the hag has been teaching you for months. When you look up from examining the necklace that now sits on your chest, possibly to look at Puck to ask him more questions about the necklace, he's gone.
So Sir Fibian's going to deflate his chest, and he's going to be like, "Yeah, that's right. You better get away, you rapscallion. If I find you floating around my princess again, you'll get a lot more than that." And then Christina's going to kind of chuckle and go back to her chores.
Alright. So you continue your chores, gathering herbs and ingredients and such, and you return back to the small hut later carrying the basket. The hag is sitting on the porch of the hut smoking a pipe. When she spots you approach, she sits up and you can see the glare coming from her, one that you know all too well. "Ah, what took you so long, girl? I've been waiting for hours. What have you..." She stops when she sees the necklace on your chest and holds out a hand. "Stop! Do not come any further." She points at you. "Where did you get that?"
Well, when I was out in the forest, I got a little hungry, so I decided to eat a bug. But then, after I got sick from eating the bug, Sir Fibian went and got me some berries, and then a nice pointy boy came down and gave me this pretty necklace. Yeah, that's about it. I think he said his name was Chuck.
She spits at the ground at your feet. Bah, that Puck. Always interfering.
Oh, do you know him?
She
This is
gives
rude.
you a sharp glare again. Ah, Puck, or Robin Goodfellow, as he's known to the Fey folk, is the bane to any creature's existence when he crosses their paths. Ah, off with you now. You don't need my teachings any longer. And she waves at you to leave.
Well, where am I supposed to go? I mean, I've literally spent all of the time that I know in this world living at your house, cleaning up after you, and you didn't even help me. Like, and now I just leave? That's what you want?
Whatever you exchanged for that necklace, that's more than I can ever offer you. Now be gone with you.
Well, fine. Taking these herbs with me. And on that note, I'm gonna storm off with my basket of herbs.
Wait! She calls out to you. And you can kind of see a look of, like, slight concern come over her. She says, stay here a moment. And she turns and walks back inside. A few moments later, she steps back outside, holding a ragged cloak, a bag, and a small book. She waddles over to you, handing it to you, and snatches the basket of herbs out of your hand. That there book is a small spell book. It's not much, but it'll help you when other magics fail. The cloak will keep you dry, and the bag is your belongings. I put some silver in there as well to help you along the roads. You now have 30 silver. She turns away and waddles back up into her hut, but before she enters, she turns back to you and says, "One last thing, princess. I don't know what you've gotten yourself wrapped in, but you take yourself to the Red Cap Inn. Travel south towards the mountains. The signs will lead you there. There's sure to be someone to help you there, though I'm not sure you need it any longer." And she shakes her head and goes back inside, slamming the door behind her.
So I'm gonna look at her really confused, and I'm gonna be like, "You literally just gave me the cloak. That's what I'm wrapped in. I don't understand you, strange woman." And then I am going to saunter off into the woods, Phibian in tow.
Okay. So, are you going
Do I know the general direction towards, like, the closest town? Or would Phibian know?
Yeah, so you would know where the closest road is. And you can find it easily. You know the swamp pretty well. Like, you grew up in it, so it's not... You know where everything's at. And you would know the direction of the mountains and where to go. So, I'd say after about a 20-30 minute walk, you're easily able to find the road that will take you to where you need.
Alright. Well, I guess I'm just on the road. Just me and my frog.
Okay.
Those are our best works.
So you find the road, and after a few days traveling on the road, you foraging for bugs and berries and fruits, and Sir Phibian sits on your, in your hair on your shoulders, catching the flies and insects that fly by to fill his own gut. You then spot signs labeled Red Cap Bed and Breakfast, with arrows pointing down a side trail.
I'm going to roll an insight and assume that a 15, I remembered to go to the Red Cap, because it's been a few days.
Yes.
Christina's not great with directions.
I would say that
Yeah,
Sir Phibian
alright.
kind of nudges you a little bit, saying, "Hey, that's where we need to go."
Yeah. Alright, well then I'm gonna saunter off that way.
So,
Begrudgingly at this point, because I'm assuming that I've been doing all the walking, and Phibian's just been kind of telling me where to go. That's a little rude.
You follow the trail, and soon you come across a large red house with lopsided windows and uneven floors. It really looks like the whole house is completely unstable. But there's a large porch with a white door and a sign that is hanging from off the porch, gently swinging in the breeze, and it says Red Cap B&B. You notice on the stairs sits a man in a colorful suit of silk and cotton. On his head sits a top hat with an orange silk ribbon wrapped around it. His hair is an orange matching that ribbon, and his skin is porcelain white. He smiles as you approach, a gap in his front teeth, and stands and bows low. "Welcome, friend. We've been waiting for you." He stands straight up again and claps with joy. "Oh, joy! Another guest for tea! Come, come, follow me!" And he runs up the stairs, waving at you to follow, and disappears inside.
Alright. So I'm going to take a second to look this over, and just consider that if Yelp was a thing, I would leave a terrible review because this place looks horrible. And then I am going to follow this man inside for tea, I guess.
Alright. Well, and that is where we're going to end this portion of your story. Everyone else may rejoin the chat if you would like.
I already like this dude in the top hat. He seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, the top hat guy?
Yeah, the top hat guy.
There you go.
It took me a minute. I was like, Fibian, who is Lord? It's your frog. I'm like, oh god, here we go.
I honestly,
AJ, if you want to kind of give the people who don't know, like, the quick backstory of your character.
So, the general backstory of my character is that she was a princess to a frog kingdom out in the swamp, and after some things happened, she got turned into a human, and is now trying to find a way to get back to her life of luxury in the swamp.
As a frog?
Yes.
So it's like the inverse of the princess and the frog.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I get jiggy with it.
Yeah.
And Sir Fabian
Well, I mean,
is
thinking
her
about
knight.
it, dude, like even a frog with royalty, like that's silk sheets and beautiful gowns and jewelry.
Gains
only
access to
only
ninth
the
level
best
spells.
bugs.
True polymorph.
Only the best bugs.
Well, pretty much. Well, I mean that's pretty much the plan, is to get a true polymorph going on.
That's awesome.
Frogging. But
Frogging around.
that's high level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a what is it? It's a patriarchy. Is that the one where females lead, or is that
That's a matriarchy, bud.
Matriarchy, right. So the Frog Kingdom is a matriarchy, and she is next in line, which means that she just gets to be full Marie Antoinette. But she gotta get back home first. So that's sort of her thing, and she is not impressed with the human world, like even a little bit. Not great. The Frog world is like Wakanda, and you guys are, like,
The rest of the
some
world.
town in Alabama.
Alabama.
Hey,
Yeah. Dude, this guy just invited me to come to shack that he's got labeled as a bed and breakfast. You telling me that doesn't shout Alabama to you? I promise you there's not functioning plumbing in that house. I promise. Didn't even have to go inside.
Alright. Yeah, you got a point.
Alright. Do you guys need a break, or do we want to roll right into the next one?
I'm good.
Okay.
Good.
Please keep it going.
Jacob, you are up next.
Oh crap. Oh, that's right. I don't have to unmute shit.
So, you will just need your character sheet open.
What's up?
And let me rearrange my screens here so everything is not a mess.
It's gonna be a mess no matter what.
Alrighty. Yeah, well, I mean, that is the slogan of this whole channel.
It's chaos.
Alrighty. So, we will go ahead and just jump right in.
Leap of faith.
So, you find yourself on a road along a forest, returning home from Waterdeep, with a bag full of supplies. The day is bright, the forest is alive with the sounds of singing birds and buzzing insects. As you walk further along the road, you come across the beaten path that leads you to your home, one you share with an old wizard. Turning onto the trail, you can see the blue shutters of a house in the distance through the trees. It's not hard for you to recognize the colors in the distance, as you know this area well after 2 years of exploring it. Soon you approach the walkway to the small house, a blooming garden lining the outer walls. You feel a little warmth of joy and pride in the colorful display of flowers and plants. After all, you helped their caretaker and have worked hard to make them bloom. Though you've had some help with your small friend Jed the gnome. Jed has worked for Merle longer than you have been alive, tending to the grounds, gardens, and a few of the livestock out behind the house. Jed was a druid from the local gnome village. You noticed his absence from the grounds, though. It's peculiar to not see him there, working away in the garden at this time of the day, especially since you saw him there when you left for town in the morning. You feel a small sense of worry, but Merle has not mentioned Jed's absence, so you brush it off after all. Jed could just be visiting his family back in the village. Go ahead and roll a perception check. Alright, so
22?
yeah, you recognize the voice of Merle and his friend Pete, a young man you've known about as long as Merle. You can hear the voices coming from the house. You can't quite make out what they're saying, but it sounds like they're having an argument. How would you like to approach?
Well, I will roll a stealth check to see if I can get a little bit closer without being noticed.
Okay.
If that's okay with you. Oh.
Okay, so you try to listen quietly in on the conversation, but as you lean forward to touch the door with your hand, it creaks open, having not been closed all the way. You hear the voices stop, and then the door swings all the way open, and you see Merle and Pete standing before you. Pete, with his red hair and freckles, gives you a cheery grin. Well, hey there, CTPO. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? I just got back.
Oh, I'm wonderful. I was just catching up with our pal Merle here. Merle stands in the corner by the fireplace and gives a huff and rolls his eyes, waving at you.
I wave back.
Pete kind of gives you a grin and then says, "Well then, I will leave you boys to it." And he gives you a quick wink and exits the house whistling a cheery tune.
I'm a little confused and I don't understand what he was getting at, but I'm going to continue on.
Merle takes the bag from you and says, "All right, well, go ahead and continue your reading. I left a scroll on the table there for you to review." And he kind of walks off to the back of the house where his lab is at.
Very well. Then I will... I guess I'm just going to do as he initially suggests. And I will read said book or scroll, or I'll pick it up and I will attempt to read it quickly. Do you want me to make a check on that for anything, or just...
No. I say that you're, you've been taught well, you're intelligent enough that it doesn't take you much. The title of the scroll that's sitting on the table is titled Hold Person. You can read it over a few times. It comes easy to you to be able to memorize the words.
Okay.
And as you're sitting there reading it over, you hear a loud clang come from across the house, and kind of look up and see Merle leaning over a small cauldron in the other room, pouring different ingredients in it. He's a tall, thin man, but he's the smartest man you know. He has shelves of books and scrolls lining the inside of the house he's always in his lab working on a new potion or spell. He's never been cruel to you, but he's always usually grumpy and short with his words, always seeming more distracted by your presence when you're around. You've guessed that is why he always sends you on tasks to Waterdeep or around the house. He even makes sure you're in another room when you're doing your reading. Occasionally, he will bring you into his lab and explain a potion or spell he's working on, though he never seems to let you try. In fact, you've never really felt magical at all, but Merle insists on keeping you educated on magic.
That's fair enough.
As you're kind of observing him, he looks up and says, "CTPO, come in here."
Alright.
So as you approach him over his cauldron, he doesn't really look up at you. He kind of continues working, but he says, "I have an errand for you to run. This is going to take you a few days of travel, so you'll need to bring a traveling cloak and some coin for a room at an inn." He turns away and goes over to a small chest, pulls out a small cloth-wrapped package and a bag of coins. "Here's 10 gold, a dagger, and the cloak."
Okay, I take it.
When you open the package, inside is a velvet cloak dyed deep blue like the night sky. And
Okay.
you can put it on if you'd like. So Merle stops what he's...
I'll equip it, but
Okay.
there's not see.
Oh, well, yeah, no, just in
Yeah.
general, you'll put it on. It doesn't really give you anything.
That's
It's
fair.
just a cloak.
Gives me style.
Yeah. Merle looks up at you and he says, "I want you to travel north towards Neverwinter. There's an inn called the Red Cap. There you will find a messenger waiting for you. Retrieve the package he has there and return to me. Do you understand?"
Yes, I do.
Alright. Go on now. It'll get dark soon, so you need to hurry.
Very well. I'll be on my way. Alright, climp my way out of there.
Alright, so a few hours into your travel, it kind of starts to get dark, and you can see the lights of a small village ahead. Out of the corner of your eye, though, you see a flicker of light coming from the trees.
Can I make out what it is?
Would you like to roll an investigation?
Yeah. As soon as I find it. Ah, there it is. Ah!
Alrighty. So you see a shining light, a blue light in the woods, slowly bobbing in and out of the trees in a tantalizing dance. You kind of feel your gears catch a fire. And it's nothing like you felt before, and you know that if you follow that light and this distant music that you're suddenly hearing now coming from the direction of the light, something magical will probably happen. But what, you're not sure.
Well, with all my 2 years of research, my whole life has been dedicated to magic I can't control. So by God, I'm not going to stop investigating it now. I follow it.
Alright, so as you get closer to the blue light, you feel a humming coming from your gears. The light flickers from tree to tree, teasing you with its mesmerizing light and song. Soon you come across a huge sycamore tree.
Hmm.
And we will switch to here.
Okay.
In the middle of the tree is a huge hollow, at least 8 feet in height. The light flits around the entrance of the hollow, beckoning you inside. Doo-doo-doo.
Can I make a perception check just to see if it's just the light and eye in this clearing or around?
Yep, go ahead.
Right.
So as you kind of step forward, to, get closer to the tree, which this is the tree way over here on the map.
Guess against the big one in the bottom left.
Yes.
Alright.
You hear a growl come from the corner, and a large black wolf kind of steps out in front of you, blocking your path to the tree.
Hmm.
Yep. So, and then it leaps at you. Go ahead and roll a dex check.
Straight dex.
Okay, so
-3 if it's just a straight, so it'd be 16.
So you don't get knocked prone, but you do kind of tussle with the wolf, and then he backs away because you were able to get away in time. And the blue light zooms forward towards you and hits you right in the chest. As it hits you, you suddenly feel alive with power, like there's magic at your fingertips.
Oh no.
Roll
Oh, dear.
initiative.
Ah. I thought it was going to be so good.
Okay, so the wolf is going to step forward again and take a bite action. Does a 7 hit?
No.
Alright, he misses.
Well, I'm going to flavor it, as I have no idea what's happening, but I will actually cast Chill Touch. But I don't know I'm casting Chill Touch, so I'm just going to slap it. I'm going to slap the wolf with Chill Touch. It's a 14 hit.
That misses.
Oh, no.
So you kind of, so you
Just
reach
try to
out
bat
to
it
like
away.
slap it, and like you make contact with him, like you slap him across the face, and you see like the bright, chilly blue light come out of your hand, and he kind of like slaps his head away, and then he looks slowly back at you with a growl, like you've offended him deeply. And he is going. Go ahead and roll an insight check. So, you have a feeling that for whatever reason, he is trying to keep you away from that tree. And he's going to go ahead and attack again. Does a 13 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a strength saving throw. Ooh, you passed.
With a negative. I love
So you will take. How much HP do you have?
it. 60.
Okay. So you take 3 damage.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to flavor that. Hmm. So, for sanity's sake, would you say I have some fine sand, some rose petals, or a cricket on me?
You don't have to worry about components and stuff.
Sweet. I'm going to say, I wish this was all a dream. And I flail my hands around, and mystically and magically, I'm casting it on myself, but I can't be magically put to sleep, and I cast sleep.
Okay. So you're
So
trying to cast
everything
sleep on
within 20
him?
feet. Well, I cast it on myself because I wish it was a dream accidentally, but I can't be put to sleep, but everything in the area.
Okay, what is
So,
the wording for that?
well, please. How do I do this? Did I hit the chat icon next to it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
20 feet. Sends into a magical summon. Roll a 5d8 total is how many hit points the creature. The creature's this spell can affect.
Yes, I'm casting it at level 1. So that's 18 HP.
So that means they have to have at least 18 hit points?
If it has more than 18, it won't be put to sleep. If it's if it's 18 or less, it goes night-night.
Okay, so you kind of see it kind of get the wolf kind of like shake its head and like sneeze. The little dust of the sleep smell kind of falls on him. And he kind of seems like he's getting drowsy for a little bit, but then he kind of shakes his head out of it and looks back at you, a little bit red glare in its eyes.
Crap. Alright, I'm pretty sure.
I'm actually going to move you guys a little closer because I want you to be closer to the tree.
Okay.
Alright, so that's his attack again. So he is going to miss. So he kind of leaps at you and snaps his jaws, but you move out of the way just in time. It's like a little dance between you and the wolf right now. And it's your turn again.
Alright. Well, I have no comprehension of what the hell is happening to me at this point, so I would like to disengage and just run towards the tree.
Okay.
And make it 1, 2, 3, 4.
So you
Right there.
you know, you take a step back and then you sprint off to the right or the left. And the wolf, like just as you're about to get to the tree, the wolf tackles you from behind. But instead of falling to the side like he was trying to do, you just happened to catch him, or you took the hit in a way where instead of falling away from the tree, you fall into the hollow of the tree.
Okay.
And suddenly, blackness.
Darkness.
Then you open your eyes and you find pure blue sky above you.
I'm already confused. It was almost dark. It's the middle of the day.
You hear chirping birds in the distance and a butterfly flitters across your face. What would you do?
Well,
And the wolf is gone. You don't see a wolf anywhere. It's just you.
takes me about 15 seconds to kind of collect myself because obviously straight up not having a good time. So I would. Can I just turn my head to the side where I'm at without getting up and do a perception check?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So you kind of hear like what sounds like footprints on like a wood porch come from behind you.
Okay.
And you kind of look over your shoulder and you see a large 3-story manor painted red. There's a sign hanging off the front porch with a red hat cap carved into it with the words, the Red Cat B&B, home of the cup of tea.
This is far too convenient. I get up and as I get up, do I see anything else?
So
Or
as you get up and like fully face the house, you notice that there is someone standing on the front porch. And you see a human-sized white rabbit wearing red and black pinstriped vest with a pocket watch hanging from his hand and a manacle in his eyes. He's tisking as he looks at the watch and back at you. You're late. Late, you see, for very, very important date. And with a big sigh, he shakes his head and turns to head back inside.
I instantly follow him.
All right. And that is where we end your quick session. Everyone else can join.
You know, when you first said CTPO, I thought it was CT, as in like you were serving tea.
It'll get better when we all
This man's
finally
found
meet.
the white rabbit already.
Yeah.
He's a robot. Of course, he's going to be efficient.
I need to know what this rabbit is. I've never seen one before. By God!
I never thought of sleep as a good way to determine your enemy's hit points before, but
That
now I've thought about it, and it's a really good way to do that.
What about him?
I was just fighting for my fucking life, man.
Sleep is a really good way to determine what the what the enemy's hit points are.
This man's casting spells, doesn't even know he's casting spells. He's just trying to smack this wolf.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Wild magic. This man should have wild magic.
That should just be his thing. When he smacks something, wild magic.
Roll a d20.
Oh shit! Oh no!
Alright, so it turns out he cast Fireball when he was trying to heal you, so I'm gonna need you to roll up a new character.
Oops.
No Zenkai boost from that one.
Alrighty. Well, we can either take another short break if anyone needs it, or jump into the next one if you'd like.
I'm game to keep rolling.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
good.
Tommy,
Stop it.
you are up next.
Oh.
I've been looking forward to this one all day.
Let's get it! Piggy pie!
Yeah.
Okay. So, we'll go ahead and jump right in. So
Real quick, are the rest of us supposed to have a black screen?
you guys can really just listen. There isn't, like,
Okay,
you don't have
just
to worry
double
about it.
checking.
You and your companions are solemnly walking up the road towards the village. It's midday, but the sky is dark and gloomy. It isn't long before you can smell the reek of fear in the air. Soon you see the roofs of the villages in the distance and what looks like black smoke hanging overhead, and the screams of the villagers. The girl at the head of your group stops. She's tall, dark-haired, a girl of maybe 16. She wears a red cloak and always keeps the hood pulled up to cover the scars on her once beautiful face. You know her as simply Red. She turns to you and your brothers. You can sense the anxiety coming from all of you. It's finally about to happen. You found him, and it was time to get your revenge. Are you all ready? She asks.
Let's do this.
She pulls a crossbow from her back and notches an arrow. Your brother sticks always. He's your eldest brother, and he pulls out a dagger and puts his own black cloak over his head, ready to disappear into the darkness. Bring it on. Straw, your youngest brother, says, stretching out his hands. as they flash with an arcane glow. The group looks to you.
Let's wreck it. As I pull my trident out with my little shield. Am I using a shield or do I just have my trident?
You don't technically need a shield. Because
Okay.
it affects your rage and AC and all that.
Word. Okay, then I'll just pull my trident out
Alright.
with the bloodlust look in my eyes.
So, you all push forward and step into the smoky darkness of the village, splitting up into the fading darkness. Go ahead and roll initiative. Alrighty. So, you can barely see anything in front of you. The fog and the smoke is super thick. You can hear the screams of the villagers around you. You can hear footsteps as people are running left and right. It's really super chaotic and you really don't know where to go. Both of your brothers in red have disappeared, taking their own trails as they go in search of your enemy. Go ahead and make your first. Go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
Can I roll something to see if I could tell where the people are running from so I could head towards it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a investigation.
Alright.
So it's really hard to tell because you have people coming from your right and your left. So there's so much screaming and yelling that you really can only hope for the best and just pick.
I guess I'm just gonna keep walking forward, just straight.
Okay.
Just move myself up here a little bit. And yeah, I'll just move there. I don't know how far that was, but...
Alright, so you step forward and you can kind of see a big object kind of fill in the mist, and you find yourself to the side of a hut. You can hear someone crying from within the hut.
So I'm gonna walk around and see if I can find the door.
Okay, yep, you walk around a few feet and you find the door inside.
And I go inside to see what's going on.
You see a small, they're called Korgisser, which are essentially corgi humanoid creatures, dog creatures, humanoids. You see a small child in the corner crying. There's a dead body on the floor with gory claw marks through their chest. Probably the parent of this child.
I'm going to grunt and reassure, like, give out a pig grunt that, like, I would, and reassure them that I'm not, like, I'm gonna tell them I'm not here to hurt you. What happened here, and where can I find the man who did this? Did you see where he ran off?
The child kind of sniffles and says, his eyes were so big, his ears were so big, and his teeth, they were so big. And he starts just crying again.
Is this house on fire? Is this hut on fire?
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
It's pretty together.
I'm gonna like, I don't know how big my character is, so I'm gonna like essentially take a knee and I'm gonna pat him on the head. I'm just gonna be like, alright, just find some place to hide till this is all over. I'll come and find you afterwards to make sure you're safe. And I'm gonna make sure they're in a safe spot, and I'm gonna head out and keep walking forward away from the hut.
Okay. So he hides under a bed that's in the corner, and you kind of cover the body with like a blanket, so the kid doesn't have to stare at it anymore. And then you walk back outside. You can see, so you're standing here. I would say from
Mm-hmm.
this direction, you see like a flash of red light that you know is probably coming from your brother's sticks.
Right.
And that is what you see.
And I'm gonna rush that way then. So I imagine my brother is fighting.
Okay?
You said about there, right?
Yeah, that works. So you get there. It's a little more quiet over here. And you still can't really see anything. And let's see, we will... So you feel, as you're sitting there trying to find your brother in the darkness or anyone in the mist and fog and smoke, and you feel from the back of your neck a hot breath just blow from behind you.
So I'm gonna turn around and like kind of give a little step back to make a little bit of distance to see if there's something behind me.
Okay, so you quickly turn around and step back, but you don't see anything there.
Alright, from here, I'm gonna... Because I seen the red flash and assume my brother is here. Sticks was the one,
Yes.
right? Or Alright, so I'm gonna call out for Sticks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And,
it's Straw. Straw's the
Straw.
one with magic.
Okay. Okay. Then I'm gonna call out for Straw and ask him if where he is, and like kind of guide me with his voice.
So you holler out for him, and then you see like two red glowing, almost where it looks like eyes, kind of coming through the fog towards you.
If it's coming towards me, I guess I'm just gonna stand there and ready myself for anything. Like, so I'll I guess I'll ready an attack.
Okay.
If it's not anyone from my immediate party, like Red or Straws.
All right. So, you kind of ready your stance with your trident ready to stab, and just as you're about to pull back, the two glowing red-esque eyes get closer and closer, you see the form of Straw step through the fog. And he looks already tired. You've only been here for a few minutes, but he looks pretty sweaty and tired, and he gives a huff and says, Brick, you're still going. I lost him. I thought I had him, but it's like he's the mist itself.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, I haven't seen anything either. I felt something breathing on my neck a few moments ago before I seen you, and that's about it. There's a little kid in a hut, maybe, I don't know, a few yards that way.
All right. Well, keep pushing through, brother. We'll get him. I know we will. I'll go back this way and see if I can find him over here. And he pushes
Alright.
past you and fades back into the mist and darkness.
Which way did can you ping which way he went?
He went
that way I
like
don't
this
have
way.
to go that way. Okay.
So he went the way you just came from.
Alrighty. So then I guess I'm gonna go up over this way. And I don't know it's that way, so I'm just gonna move over here, and then I guess I'm gonna call out, "Come fight me, you coward!"
So you scream out, and you hear like a growl kind of like on the wind. And then you hear this deep voice saying, "So hungry." And then you hear a sharp pitched scream come from somewhere off in the fog.
Can I do like a insight to see if I can tell what range I was coming from, like what way?
Yeah.
Or Would that be insight or?
Probably investigation or perception.
Okay, I wasn't. I'll go with investigation.
So, the scream was pretty loud, but with all this fog and mist, it's almost echoey. You can't pinpoint it. At this point, you're just searching blind.
Alright, I'm gonna keep going this way then. What's over here? Looks like I found a fire pit.
So you come across a smoldering fire pit that's just burning coals at this point.
And I'm gonna move a little bit this way, and then I don't know, I guess I'm just gonna keep taunting him, calling him mean names, and saying bad things about his parents.
Go ahead and make a dex check.
So that would just be, I would just click on dexterity, right?
Yeah.
Not a saving throw.
Alright, so as you're screaming out more obscenities, just taunting this creature, from behind, you feel what's your AC?
It's a 14, I believe.
So you feel something, teeth latch onto your shoulder where you're holding your trident, and you'll take 11 piercing damage, and you need to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw. Oof.
1 second, trying to. There we go. Oops. So you are knocked prone, and you see standing over you is this huge, giant, black-furred, red glowing-eyed wolf being, larger than any wolf you've ever seen. His mouth is just hanging open, bloodied from the chonk he just took out of your shoulder. And he growls in your face. He's actually quite big. And you are now knocked prone. So you can take your turn, and you can take half your movement and attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna take half my movement, and I'm gonna swing at him with my two-handed trident.
Oh, and you also took 11 piercing damage.
Yeah, I put that in already.
Okay.
Let's see, does that hit it?
19. That does hit.
Well, let's see what I hit him for. 5.
Alrighty. You shove forward with your trident, and you manage to hit him in the corner of his shoulder, and he howls in pain and then steps back and seems to fade into the mist, disappearing again.
Well then, I'm still in combat, right?
Yeah, you'll be in constant combat until we come out of it, but you can go ahead and take your movement.
Okay, guess I'm gonna move this way a little bit, and just actually wait, I'm gonna save it. Yeah, I'm just gonna move this way, kind of because I'm hurt, kind of holding my shoulder. And I'm gonna call out for my brothers, Sticks and Straw and Red, and I'm gonna call out. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep walking this way. Hopefully he doesn't attack me again, but we'll see.
So as you're walking through, you kind of hear from the roofs of the houses almost like footsteps running, and then you can hear the whizzing of arrows flying through the air. It kind of fades as it runs by, but you recognize that as Red, probably leaping roof to roof, letting loose arrows. And then as you continue to kind of walk through the fog, you notice the screaming kind of gets quieter and quieter, like there's less and less people. And then all of a sudden you hear this giant deep roar coming from somewhere in the village, and then a squealing scream that you recognize that has to have come from one of your brothers.
Alright, so I'm just gonna frantically start running through the village. I don't really care what's in my way, I guess.
Yep, so
I'm
yeah,
just
so
gonna
at
look
this
for my
point,
brothers.
you run through, and as you're starting to run through, you kind of see that the fog is slowly starting to lift, and you come out of combat as you find Red standing over a body. As she looks up and as she sees you run up, and she says, "Brick, over here! Hurry over here!" And as you run up, you find her and Straw standing over the limp body of your brother Styx.
I'm just gonna start squealing like a pig angrily. And yeah, essentially like rage, but not rage because I'm not in combat.
So Straw looks up at you and he says, "He's not dead." And as you kind of look closer at Six laying there, you see that his right eye is bloody and black, and he coughs and seems to come out of unconsciousness, and he says, Did I get him?" And Red, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna pick him up and hold him in my arms while he's just like sitting there hurt.
Well, Red, she shushes him and puts a hand on his head, and he kind of falls back into unconsciousness, and she looks at you and she's like, "Break, Straw, pick him up. We need to get him inside one of these buildings."
Alright, and yeah, I pick him up and I follow her into, well, I could bring them back to the house where that kid was to check on him too, I guess.
So say you guys just take him to the nearest house that's empty.
Yeah.
You set him on a bed inside, and Straws goes to work doing some healing. Red hands him some healing potions, and she waves at you to follow her outside to leave Straw at his work.
Yeah, I follow her.
So she kind of sits down on the stairs of the hut and kind of like rests her chin on her hands and rubs her head a little bit, looking exhausted. And she looks up at you and she says, This isn't gonna work. We're not strong enough to take him on. Not without someone dying."
I look at her and I agree. And I tell her we should find people because I don't want to lose any more of my friends or family. And we're stronger in numbers.
She nods in agreement, and you both kind of watch as the mist has pretty much cleared now, and like the sun is out, and the sky is blue, and people are packing up their remainings. You see the little child that you saw from before, holding the hand of another villager, and he kind of like nods at you when you walk by, and so you know he's safe.
I yell at that villager, "You protect him," at all costs.
The villager looks at you and gives you just a look of fear and exhaustion, like a quick nod. Go ahead and as you watch them picking up belongings and some people carrying dead bodies from left to right that are just torn to shreds, bite marks, claw marks, go ahead and roll a wisdom check.
Alrighty.
So, you feel angry, guilty, that you didn't succeed, you didn't save more people. You feel like it's your fault.
Right, as I should. And I was actually gonna say something like that too.
Go ahead.
I look at Red and I kind of just like stomp on like slam my fist into the ground. I'm like, I'm so pissed we didn't get him this time. I should be stronger than this.
She puts a hand on your shoulder, out of comfort and understanding, and says, I feel the same. I feel the same. You know, I heard a rumor that there's a place where we could find help. We might need to go there, or at least one of us. Styx isn't going to be able to travel anytime soon.
I look at her and I'm like, I'll go. I would feel better if you and Straws stayed here to protect Styx, and you're more knowledgeable. I would assume she's more knowledgeable in like healing and stuff than I am. And yeah, she's also like one of the only people I trust to protect my brothers.
She gives you a firm nod and like a grim smile at your courage to take it on, and then just as she's about to say something more, you hear a throat clear from behind you, and you turn to see Straw standing at the top of the stairs. He says, he's stable, he'll survive. He only lost his eye with some nasty scratches, but he'll pull through. So you follow him back inside. Now that everything has calmed down. Red starts to pull out rations from her bags and hands some to you and Straw as Styx is still unconscious in the bed. And she starts a fire as you kind of sit in silence, waiting for Styx to come out of it. And soon Styx kind of groans and comes to, and Straw and Red like hurry over to his side.
I'm gonna hurry over there too.
You see that. Go ahead.
What were you saying? No, you can go ahead.
You see that Straw has wrapped a bandage around Styx's head, covering the now empty eye socket. Styx looks at all of you with his working eye, and says, "What happened? Did we get him?"
I look at him and I'm like, we did our best. We saved as many people as we could. But no, we did not get him. I'm sorry, brother. As I slam my fist on a table next to me.
Red kind of grabs your shoulder, try to comfort you again, and Straw grabs his Styx hand and says, "No, brother, not this time, but almost. You hurt him good, Styx. You hurt him real bad." And Styx kind of gives like a weak smile and says, "Good." And then he kind of reaches up with his other hand and he touches the bandage. He got my eye, did he? And you all kind of nod in agreement. He says, "The bastard. Well, next time, I'll take his head." And you all kind of chuckle at his optimism. And Straw looks at him and says, "Alright, Styx, you're gonna need a few days to recover. Unfortunately, that means we're gonna lose this trail again."
Yeah, I look at Red, I'm like, shit, where do we go from here? You said something about I'm sorry, I'm kind of drawing a blank. What she
Yeah.
said about that.
So
But-
she kind of says, yeah, about that. I was talking with Brick earlier, and I think we're gonna need help. I don't think we can take this on, just the 4 of us. Brick volunteered to go find help, and you need to go to the Red Cap Inn. It's not too far from here, a few days by foot. But I'm sure you'll be able to find someone who might be able to help us. And Styx kind of waves you over to come by his side.
And I come to him and I said, "Yes, brother. What do you need?"
And he reaches out for your hand and says, I have faith in you. Go find us some help. Help us get our revenge. But be careful. There's more darkness out there other than that wolf.
I grab his hand and like a brotherly clasp, thank you. And may I say, you do look pretty badass now, Styx.
He gives you a chuckle and kind of turns into a little bit of cough, and Straw hands him a cup of water, and Styx kind of just lays back with a grin on his face and falls back to sleep, and you all kind of settle down for the night to recover. The night passes, and the next morning you start gathering your things so that you can head out. You say your goodbyes to Straw and Styx. They both give you, their faith and say that they trust you, and they know that you'll get the help that they need. And then Red escorts you to the edge of the village again. She hands you a small bag of coins and gives you a hearty slap on the back. It says, "You'll do fine out there, Brick," and gives you a grin. She isn't wearing her hood, and you can see the scars clearly on her face. 3 long scratch marks shine in the sunlight, crossing from one side of her face to the other in a diagonal motion. Scratch marks that came from the wolf that you all seek. And she says, "The place is called the Red Cap. Ask the rabbit there for help. I'm sure he'll give it. Whoever you find, bring them back to us. We'll be back at the hideout by the time you find the place. I'm going to see if we can try to pick up his trail. Maybe stop by the Sherwoods and see if we can find help there as well." She also hands you a small map and kind of points out on the map which directions to go. And then she holds out her hand for a predator handshake. "Good luck, friend. We'll see you soon, eh?"
I shake her hand and say, "Maybe we meet again." And I'll bring friends. Now you guys stay safe, and I head off.
Alright, and you turn down the road and head off, following the way to the famed Red Cap B&B. And that is where we end this portion of your session, or story. The rest of you may rejoin.
Bruh.
Oh wow.
This is my favorite.
Bruh.
Can we all just give fucking kudos to Madison for that? I was legit intrigued.
That was I liked
great.
that. That was
it good?
Well,
Oh, I'm so happy.
I thought it was great.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. All of us, read the chat. That's all I gotta do is
Okay.
read the chat. Oh my goodness.
I'll have to read
I'm
it.
scrolling, all I see is a big punch.
Oh.
That wolf thought he wasn't gonna get hit, and TJ's like, "Nah, you're about to feel all of these cramps."
Yeah, you damn near critted too. Yeah, the big bad wolf is quite a few CR levels above where you all are currently at. So,
So we should perform straight away.
Oh yeah.
like,
Yeah,
he has
forget
100 plus
whatever else I had
HP,
planned.
so yeah.
And I.
Well, we gotta
have a
hunt him
frog,
down
so-
first. I mean,
I mean, by our powers
There's,
combined, right?
there's an adventure in itself right there.
Does he have the power of friendship?
Captain. Yeah. Bet you he doesn't. Too strong, doesn't need any friends.
Yeah, he
Forks
doesn't
got all
think he
these
needs friends. But I got friends.
Bro, if we
A
hold
lot of
hands and we
them.
turn into a Megatron, that would be awesome.
It's right up my deli.
Ben has
Oh
to
my
try and fly us all.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this wolf like literally slaughtered mine, sticks, and straw's entire village while we were off hunting for the village to feed them.
Wow.
And we came back and they just
You guys
killed
don't
them
even
all and ran
understand. When I asked Tommy if he wanted to play, and I was like, "Oh, you could be like one of my already established characters, like one of the three little pigs." And he's like, "Sure." And then I was like, "Ooh, what can I do? Ooh, oh, ooh." And then I started writing. And I didn't stop. And I was like, "Yes."
It's just
The
Inspired.
best backstory.
better.
Like, here's the quick intro I gave, right, to him. I was like, "You and your two brothers, Sticks and Straw, joined up with Little Red Riding Hood last year, after your whole village was slaughtered by the big bad wolf. You and your brothers were on a hunting trip when it happened and only found toppled houses and dead, half-eaten corpses upon your return. Red Riding Hood, or Red as you call her, also lost her grandmother and husband to the big bad wolf a few years back." That's gonna be adjusted because she's only 16. But
Hey, different time. It happens.
the four of you had joined up to protect other talking animal villages from the endless hunger of the big bad wolf. Your group has caught trail of the big bad wolf on his way to this village, and you are on your way there to stop him. Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
We all
Yeah.
did.
It's
Edge of
great.
my seat
I love
the
this
whole
character
time.
already.
Oh, I'm so happy. Okay. Alright, we got last but not least. It's gonna be strictly role-playing, Aaron, so you don't have to worry about Roll20 or any of that, except for your character sheet. Alright, if we could have everyone mute their mics, please.
You're not my dad. But yeah,
No, I am your dungeon mom, alright? You do as I say.
male or female, you're still dungeon daddy. Now I'm gonna go back to being muted.
Okay, I agree. We'll go. Alright, you ready to start, Aaron?
Let's go.
Okie doke. It's your first day in service to the new queen of the land. You never really got to see her face when you knelt down and swore your allegiance and sword to her, as a black veil covered her eyes. The whispers went about back in the knight's quarters, though, about her eyes being clear and mirrored, and that she bore scars upon her cheeks. She came upon her throne rather quickly, with a magic unlike anyone knew. What most of the other knights who gave her oath to her did so out of fear, or excitement for the possible cruelty this new queen will let her men afflict upon the world. You can still recall the cold, dark stare of the massive man who stood at her side as you swore your oath. They call him the Huntsman, and he was not to be crossed. He was the queen's protector, and some whispered he was also her lover, but none say it in the court itself for fear of his axe at their neck. You have been tasked with your first mission. You and a few other paladins were ordered to accompany the Huntsman in tracking down an enemy of the crown. It's been a few days on the road, and the Huntsman has yet to speak a word to any of you. The other paladins, more seasoned than you, have grown more comfortable in the cold silence of your dark leader, but you are still finding it hard to be settled around him. You received word in the night that Humpty, the enemy you've been searching for, has been captured at a local tavern by some queensmen. Your party packed up and left after word was received while it was still dark. Hours have passed, and you can tell by the prints and grooves in the road that you're getting closer to your destination. One of the paladins, on a horse, leans towards you as you're riding silently in the cool morning light. "Hey, bud. Have you ever worked with a huntsman before?" You recognize him as Sir Richard.
Sir Richard, I've never worked with the Huntsman before. This is my first time. I find his silence kind of off-putting.
Some of the other men snicker. No? Well, you're in for a real treat then. Silence isn't the only thing that'll give you chills. Go ahead and roll a wisdom check. What'd you get?
18?
Okay.
That was a straight wisdom check, not a saving throw, right?
Yeah, I mean, just a straight
Okay,
up.
yeah. 18.
They're probably just messing with you, but Huntsman still makes you feel a little uncomfortable. So shortly after the other paladins kind of mess around with you, you arrive at a shabby-looking tavern. There's a sign on the door that says, "Closed for the business of the Queen." A few horses are tied up outside wearing the blue and gold colors of your queen. The huntsman says nothing, jumping off his horse and leaving it there. The other men follow suit, and Sir Richard looks back at you. "Go ahead and round up the horses there, eh? Don't want them getting loose." So you have 5 horses in total, 3 for the other paladins, 1 for the huntsman's horse, and your own. Which of the 5 would you like to tie up first?
I'll tie up my own first.
Okay. Go ahead and roll animal handling. Alright, so
13?
you easily lead your horse to the tie post and tie him up, and he doesn't resist at all, having known you for a while now. Very comfortable.
I'm gonna go for the huntsman's horse next, as I don't want to incur his wrath.
Okay. So the huntsman horse is this large, black, intimidating stallion. He huffs and kind of paws at the ground with his hooves. Roll a wisdom check.
13?
All right. So now go ahead and roll your animal handling.
10?
So you are very nervous trying to step forward and grab the reins of the horse, and he senses this, and right as you reach forward to grab the reins, he nips at your hand, almost taking a finger.
As he nips at my hand, I yank my hand back and just kind of look at the horse for a second, considering retaliating, deciding that would not be the right thing to do.
Okay, would you like to make a second attempt?
Yes.
All right, go.
14.
So you go to once again try to take hold of his reins, and he, as you reach for it again, more cautious now of his mouth, he rears his head back and takes 3 or 4 steps back, and you kind of stumble forward, missing the lines.
I'd like to run at the horse and attempt to jump on top of it. Is that an athletics check?
Yep, go ahead.
And that's a 7.
So as you kind of run at him to grab onto the saddle and pull yourself up on him, he just kind of steps off to the right, and you lose your balance and kind of tumble down into the mud. And the horse stands over you a little bit and kind of nickers at you, and you realize that he's laughing in his own horse way.
I'm going to cast command on the horse.
Okay.
So, needs to make a wisdom saving throw against my DC, which is 12.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just say that you're able to. What word are you using?
I think I'm going to use the word halt.
Okay. So you command the horse to halt, and he kind of goes rigid for a second, but stays still and kind of glares at you out of the corner of his eye.
And while he's halted, I want to attempt to grab the reins again to tie him up.
All right, you are able to grab the reins. No problem.
All right, so I've tied up my horse and the huntsman's horse. I'm gonna go for one of the other paladin's horses now.
All right.
$20.
Yep. So
Dirty 20.
You're able to gather up the third horse.
And then I'm gonna go for another horse again. 12 or 13.
Another successful handling.
And on the last one, a 21.
And you are able to gather the last 3 horses.
So now that I've tied all the horses up, I would like to follow the other paladins into the, it was an inn, right? Or is it a tavern?
Tavern, yeah. So,
okay, yeah, I'd like to follow them in.
So you make your way inside the tavern. As you step in, you see that there's a fireplace over to the right side. And by the fire, a man is tied up to a chair. You see the huntsman is sitting in a chair, silently staring at the man holding a dagger in his hand, as though he's deciding what to do. The other men have joined some of the soldiers that captured this man and are waiting and watching off to the side, around a table. A few of them look uncomfortable, like they want to leave, while the others, including Sir Richard, look quite excited. There's an open seat on a bench, and if you choose to, you can take it.
I will go sit down.
Alright, so you sit down and you kind of face towards the huntsman to see what's going to happen to the prisoner. Go ahead and make a perception check.
$17.
So you kind of catch the huntsman tense up real quick, and then a blink of the eye, the dagger is stabbed down into the man's leg, and you hear the man scream out in pain. But instead of a gutting flesh sound, you hear cracking and breaking, almost like ice being cracked beneath your feet on a frozen lake. Go ahead and roll a wisdom check.
Nat 20.
You are shocked by what just happened. You knew the huntsman was dangerous, but now that you've seen him harm someone, it's a little more clear now how lethal he truly can be. The man is still screaming, and then the huntsman, silence! His voice is cold and deep, making you want to shiver. The man stops screaming, fear in his eyes. And the huntsman says, "You have betrayed your queen." Did I say you could speak? The huntsman exclaims, pulling a hand axe from his side. You think yourself clever, Answer me. Make another wisdom check.
Dirty 20.
You flinch at the huntsman's voice, wanting to look away. So do you want to look away, or are you going to keep watching?
I think I'll keep watching, but kind of out of my peripheral, kind of with a averted gaze.
Okay. So the huntsman slams his axe down in the mantle above the fireplace a few inches from the prisoner's head. Then he grabs the dagger and yanks it out of the man's leg. The man screams again, and you see what looks like small pieces of white porcelain fling from the wound upon the dagger being pulled free. The huntsman holds the dagger up to the man's face, putting the tip of it into his cheek. You note, though, that the man's cheek does not seem to give way to the pressure of a dagger at first, but as the dagger presses harder, you hear a cracking sound, and spidered lines start to spread across the man's cheek like when an egg is being cracked. The man whimpers in pain. "Please," he begs, I was just trying to protect the kingdom." The huntsman moves the dagger up to the ear of the man, pressing it up against the groove behind his earlobe. "Protect the kingdom, eh? You think hiring an assassin to kill the queen is protecting the kingdom?" In one quick swipe, the huntsman yanks the knife forward, shattering the ear attached to the prisoner's head. You watch as the man's face splinters and cracks, and almost hard-shelled skin breaks to pieces, falling to the ground. Blood runs through the cracks and holes in his face that's still pieced together, and the man screams in pain and agony at the loss of the side of his face. Roll another wisdom check.
19.
Everything inside you is telling you to run. You want to escape the madness. Your oath was to the queen and the kingdom, but this is not what you had signed up for, to watch someone get tortured. You look away from the scene, not wanting to see any more of the bloodshed. You hear the huntsman say. The room is silent. "You, boy!" Make a perception check.
Eight.
You don't look up right away, and then suddenly you hear heavy feet standing right next to you. And you look up and see the huntsman standing above you. A flicker of annoyance crosses his gaze. "Why do you look away?"
It's not a pretty sight, sir. I can't bring myself to watch this. This is not what I thought we were here to do.
"Do you not love your queen?"
I love my family, and in that love, I swore an oath to the queen to prove our fealty. But this,
He hands out.
I would never do this in the name of my family.
"So you wouldn't do this to protect your kingdom and queen, then?"
There are other ways to handle things like this. This is wrong.
He walks back over to the prisoner and pulls the prisoner up from his chair, cutting the ropes clear, and drags the prisoner to your feet. The other soldiers around you stand up and kind of back away, and he throws the prisoner to the ground and then holds the handle of the dagger out to you. "You have a choice. Either prove yourself to your queen in this kingdom, or you will take his place." And he holds the dagger out to you.
I take the dagger and I plunge it through the prisoner's eye.
Some of the other men laugh and cheer at this movement. Go ahead and tell us what's going on in your head right now.
William's really thinking about either attempting to kill the huntsman or trying to find a way out of here. He's also really considering attempting to take the prisoner's body with him to attempt to heal the wounds. He knows he dealt a lethal blow, but he's unsure if maybe some deity would help.
So, you don't quite kill the prisoner, but you do like kind of take a step back after doing that. And the huntsman looks over at Sir Richard and gives him a nod, and then walks back over to the fire by himself. Sir Richard, or some of the other soldiers, grab the prisoner and pull him up, and Sir Richard pushes you aside, and he's like, "Here's how it's really done." And then he takes the tip of the dagger and finds a loose piece of the hard shelled flesh and slowly starts to take a little piece away at a time. And he says, "You know, I like my eggs unshelled and clean." And do you stay in or do you decide to step outside?
William's gonna run outside and jump on his horse and cut the rope, start to flee.
Go ahead and make a dex check.
19.
Or actually, how about you make a wisdom check first.
Nat 20.
So you know that trying to run right now with all of these men around you would not be the best bet. That it's probably better to wait it out.
So, in that case, he kind of tries to slink back into the back of the crowd and away from the now I guess ravenous soldiers who are torturing this man.
Okay. So they continue on with their cruel ways, and time passes, and soon it's the next day, and your group has set up camp for the night. You are on your way back to the castle. No one has really said a word to you. You have taken the rear of the group, and upon your horse's back, resting against you, is a large sack bloodied and full of egg-shelled flesh. All that is left of Lord Humpty. Late into the evening, after you've made camp, you pass on dinner as your stomach cannot bear to hold food. Some time passes and you've been given first watch. You cannot help but relive the past over and over in your head, and the crackling sounds of the fire make you flinch, and you can still hear the agonizing screams of Lord Humpty playing on a loop in your head. Go ahead and make a insight check.
14.
So you know that if you were to go back to the kingdom, that you would not be able to keep working under the huntsman or even for the queen. Not if this is what she stands for. Going on the run might be not be the safest choice, but staying behind will be just as dangerous. And you need to leave now while everyone's asleep.
Can he take the sack with Humpty's body with him?
You can, but you will be rolling with disadvantage.
What would that roll be?
Like stealth rolls, strength rolls, athletics, dex.
Oh, all of my rolls would be
yes,
with
because you're going to
disadvantage.
be carrying a quite heavy bag of weight.
Well, I'm going to be attempting to put the bag on the horse and then take my horse and ride. So I think we'll attempt to get the bag onto the horse and then run off into the night.
Okay. So the bag was laid down next to you. It's kind of like the group's punishment for you essentially back-talking the huntsman. So you're going to have to drag it or pick it up or carry it from your spot on the ground to the other side of the camp where the horses are.
All right, so I pick up the bag and start walking.
All right, go ahead and make stealth checks. Disadvantage.
4.
So you take a step forward, and the bag is just really, it's just like carrying a bag of water, where the water, it's kind of sloshing around a little bit, and it really makes you off balance, and you step on a stick and it cracks, and you kind of hear someone moan and muffle in their sleep as they readjust themselves.
He pauses for a moment to make sure that the person isn't going to wake up.
Alright, it all goes quiet again.
Alright, he keeps walking towards the horses.
Alright, make another stealth check.
6.
Another, let's make this a little more different. This isn't your fault this time. As you're stepping forward, owl swoops down above, and just really loud screeching owl makes a loud screeching sound as it catches a mouse off to the side of the trees, and you hear one of the other soldiers kind of, stupid bird, as he readjusts, rolls over, being awoken by it.
William pauses for another second to allow the soldier to go back to resting before he attempts to move on.
Okay. A few moments pass and it seems to go quiet again.
Nat 1.
So you manage to reach your horse, and just as you're about to lift the bag to throw it on your horse, the huntsman horse sees you and gives out a loud neigh sound. You turn and you see the large shadow of the huntsman on the ground, and you meet his gaze.
William is going to... He's already got the bag on the horse, right?
You were about to throw it up on the horse.
William's gonna toss that bag onto the horse and just hop on and ride. There's some distance between William and the huntsman, right?
I'd say there's probably about 10 or 15 feet.
Okay, yeah, he has enough time to hop on the horse then. So yeah, he's gonna toss the bag onto the horse, hop on, and just ride.
So go ahead and just roll a luck check. Just raw d20. So
16.
As you're able to get the bag up on the horse and grab it and cut the line of the horse and jump up on it. And just as you turn the horse to start running, you meet the gaze again of the huntsman, and his gaze tells you that he no longer sees you as a man, but only as something to hunt, and you would be his next target. But you'd rather be chased down and killed now than dragged back and tormented. So you are able to take off.
Yeah, horsey, yeah.
So you travel for a while, pushing your horse to its limits, and you take a glance behind you, and you see that there is no one following you.
William's gonna try to find William's, I'm assuming, on a path. And is it in a woody area, or is it just a plains type area?
I'd say you're going down the road right now, probably back towards the way you were coming from instead of going towards the kingdom.
Yeah, but is the road surrounded by woods or plains? Like, is it
woods.
Okay, so William's gonna hop off of his horse and take the horse into the woods with him, and he's gonna try to find a small clearing.
Okay.
And once he finds a small clearing, he's gonna tie the horse up, take the bag down off of the horse, and start digging.
All right. Yeah, I'll just let you say that you've done that. I'm not gonna make you roll for any of that.
He buries the bag of Humpty's remains, knowing that there's no way to reassemble this man, and he makes a prayer and apologizes for the cruelty with which this man met his end. And he's going to hop back on his horse and keep riding because he can't stay for long.
Alright, so you are able to find a road again, and you keep pushing through. A few days pass. You make it to the borders of your kingdom and find a nearby city. You know it's probably best if you were to sell the things that make you noticeable.
So he's going to trade his shield, which has an emblem of the kingdom. He's going to try to find someone to trade that shield with, to get a different, less obvious shield, something a little bit more mundane.
You find a smith, and he kind of looks you over as you walk in. You tell that you look tired and beaten up, and he says, "Hey, you look like you're on the run from someone."
What I am and am not is not of your concern. The only thing of your concern is that I wish to do business.
I understand. Well, if you just happen to be on the run, and I can pay you good coin for that armor and shield you wear, maybe replace it with something more low-key, something to blend in.
That would be perfect.
So he pulls out some of his better armor, because the armor that you're wearing is royal, so it's worth a good amount of money. He pulls out the best armor he has and offers it in trade, and can offer to give you a few more pieces of gold for it. It's not quite up to the standard that you would have, but you know that it's better than nothing. And then as you're finishing up the exchange, he says, "You know, I know of a place where you could go where you could find help, or somewhere to lay low for a bit."
And where might this be, good sir?
It's known as the Red Cap. Not too far from here, maybe 3-4 days walk. 2 days ride if you go by horseback. It's right outside the mountains near the Sherwood Kingdom, the Sherwood Forest. If you head south, you should surely find it.
Thank you. Is there anywhere in town where I can purchase a tent? I've been sleeping under the stars the past few nights, and I'd like some cover.
So he tells you the local merchant, points you in that direction. You're able to find some cheap supplies from the merchant for camping and rations and things like that, and get everything you need. You also you look up at your horse, and you consider whether it be worth dragging him along, or maybe selling him for more coin.
William's gonna take the horse with him. He thinks it best to get as far away as possible, and that horse is the only thing that's allowing him to create as much distance as he can.
Okay. So you get all your supplies, and you're able to head back out on the road with your horse. You ride about 2 more days towards the direction that the smith had told you, and you start to see little signs on the trees with arrows pointing towards Redcap B&B.
William follows the signs.
So soon you follow the trail, and soon you come across a large, red, and shabby-looking house. Its levels look dangerously uneven and wonky, the windows squared but crooked, and the smell of sweets waft in the air towards you, inviting you to enter.
William comes up to the front of the inn, ties his horse up, and heads inside.
As you approach the porch, after tying up your horse, suddenly a mouth of pearly white teeth appears out of thin air above the railing on the porch's fence. The teeth form a huge smile as it grins at you, and then it speaks. Oh, yes, you will do quite well. Please, please come in, for the madness waits you inside. And the teeth fade out, and the door to the building opens, baiting you to enter.
He heads inside.
And that, boys, is where we will be ending today's sessions.
Well, you might want to read, because...
Yeah,
I've been reading it.
I've been glancing.
I love this backstory, but the second the egg pun started, we couldn't stop.
Yeah,
it was outside of us. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm glad you guys really enjoyed this, because I was nervous that I didn't do enough. I know some of them went quicker than others, but I could only do so much without, us doing an unofficial service or official session.
They were great.
Yeah.
All around.
I liked my story.
Straight up had a great time.
All right.
That
well,
wolf's gonna get it. That wolf's gonna get it.
Eventually, yeah.
Take my brother's eye.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and close out this. For everyone who came and watched and listened, thanks for being here. Gonna plan up the next session and hopefully have it out by sometime the end of November, December. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, this is Madison the Dungeon Master. I just wanted to give all of our listeners and viewers a quick background on what the purpose of this first session was. This is our 0 session. I wanted to do one-on-ones with each character to kind of get the groundwork of their backstories settled into the world. We will be starting the first official campaign session here in a couple weeks. Please bear with us as we are new to this recording situation. There is lots of pausing, and I am working on editing out as much of it as I can without taking too much from everyone's characters and everything. We will be playing some other games on this channel as well. Among Us, Ark Survival Extreme, a few other games that have yet to be determined, so this will not just be Dungeons & Dragons, but we hope that you guys have enjoyed this first session. I am still a newer DM. I'm working on getting more comfortable with my voices and working on storytelling and descriptions. So again, please bear with us, and I hope you subscribe to the channel. Thanks.